The fourth factor contributing to your success is bidding. Now, we talk about organizing this in order of your control. Bidding is really for the control freaks, where you don't trust Facebook and the way Facebook optimizes, so you want to butt your head in there and put in some constraints. So let's talk a little bit about this. With bidding, Facebook offers several manual bidding options. So cost cap, which Facebook describes as being best for generating the most volume and the best average cost per action. Bid cap, which allows you to control your bids and set a max bid. And then target cost, which is typically best, Facebook says, for consistent costs and average cost per action. So if you plan on scaling and increasing your budget, target cost may be the best option for your manual bidding. Now keep in mind, I know there are a lot of strategies out there that involve manual bidding, and people try to get cute and they want to bid really, really low so they can spend less, which kind of seems like a natural thing to do. But no, if you bid too low, first of all, you're not going to get distribution. It's an auction. It's just like if you're in an auction and you bid 1 penny for everything, you're going to lose everything. You'll lose every auction. Also, if you bid too low, you may reach people, but you may get low quality reach, right? There's a reason in a lot of cases it's expensive to reach certain people. Those people, in most cases, there's a lot of competition for their eyeballs. If there's less competition for a certain person, there may be a reason for that. So you may say, oh yeah, I've got way more reach and maybe even clicks and engagement, and I spend a lot less, but is it high quality? So within bidding, you'll see something that looks a little something like this. All right. So by default, you wouldn't have to do anything, but you have this cost control option where you can set a cost control if you have a very specific goal. If you don't set one, Facebook's ad systems will focus on spending your entire budget, getting the most results. But by setting a cost control, you're telling Facebook which results to spend budget on. And if your ad set requires a conversion window, use that to determine your cost control too. All right, so for example, you could set a cost control for average cost per purchase. But you have the option there of cost cap, big cap, target cost. But by default, you can just leave this empty, and then Facebook says that they'll aim to spend your entire budget and get the most purchases or whatever action this is using the lowest cost bid. If you do use cost cap, like I said, Facebook's going to try to get you the most volume. So if you set a $10 cost control with cost cap, Facebook will aim to get the most purchases and for the average cost to be no more than $10. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's an average cost, no more than $10 is going to be their goal if you set that. If you set a big cap, in this case of $10, Facebook says that's best for controlling bids. So Facebook will aim to get the most purchases without bidding more than $10. So now you're not even going to bid more than that. So forget about an average. You're not going to bid more than $10. So your average cost is going to be much, much less in all likelihood. And then target cost, Facebook will aim to keep your average cost per, whatever this is, in this case a purchase, between $9 and $11 using target cost. So again, consistency. They're going to be in a range, and Facebook suggests this is typically best for scaling purposes if you plan to scale later. So how should we approach this? Something to keep in mind, manual bidding, if you use it, it suggests that we can do better. That we can do better than Facebook systems. Facebook's been doing this a long time. They've got a lot of data. They've tweaked this over the years. It doesn't mean you can't do better, but you may be wasting your time. If you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, more than likely just keep it on auto. But it's okay to use manual bidding if you want to test this out, see what you can do. Hey, maybe you're a genius and you can get this done at lower cost. And also only set manual bids when you have very specific goals in mind. Okay, so just try to simplify this process as much as possible. Now, Facebook has this whole grid that kind of lays out your bid strategies, who sets the bid, the objectives you can use with it, when to use it, the benefits, and also considerations. We're clearly not going to go over all that right now. But I'm going to provide a link to this in the notes here below this video. So if you'd like access to that, check that out.